Have you ever prayed so hard your voice cracked and still heard nothing back? You waited, you believed, you held on, and the silence stretched on so long like a cold winter night that a quiet, painful If that thought has ever crossed your mind, stay with me, because what feels like being forgotten is often not abandonment at all. It is prep. In Isaiah 49:15, God says, "Can a woman forget her nursing child, that she should have no compassion on the son of her womb? Even these may forget, yet I will not forget." You notice God, He says He will never actually forget you, and learning to live in that gap is one of the deepest lessons of faith. So the real question is not, before He ever wore a crown or led a nation, He spent years in the empty fields watching sheep that were not even His anointed as king by the prophet Samuel in 1 Samuel 16, and then sent right back to in that hidden field. David learned to trust God when no one was watching. He learned courage against the lion and the bear, long before he ever faced Goliath, and his public victory was. The world celebrates the moment of promotion, but God is far more interested in the person you become before the promotion arrives. And if He lifted you up before you were ready, the very thing you prayed for could destroy you, a gift placed in unprepared hands. So sometimes the most loving thing God can do is keep you hidden a little longer, not because He has forgotten you, but because He is protecting you from a weight you are not yet built. He interpreted a dream for the cupbearer in prison and asked one thing: "Remember me when it goes well for you." But Genesis 40 ends, 2 years in a prison cell for a crime he did not commit, forgotten by the one man who could have spoken for him. But when the time was finally right, when the leader needed answers, no one else could give. God moved, and in a single day Joseph, man's forgetting could not cancel God's remembering, and the delay positioned Joseph's rise to mean the salvation of an entire people, not just himself. So what if the delay? Now think about Lazarus. When he fell sick, his sister sent word to Jesus, and John 11 says something striking. Jesus loved them, so He stayed 2 more days where he was. Because He loved them, He waited, and the delay was not indifference. It was love working toward a greater purpose. By the time Jesus arrived, Lazarus had been dead 4 days, and that He was there to raise the dead. Sometimes God lets the situation go all the way to what feels like the end, not to hurt you, but so that when He finally moves, there is no possible explanation. So what do you do while you are waiting? First, refuse to interpret God's silence as God's rejection, because your feelings are honest reporters of your pain. Second, be faithful in the small hidden things. David tended sheep. Joseph served faithfully even inside a prison, and the hidden season is not wasted. The third, remember that God's timing carries God's provision. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." There is an appointed time, and your job is not to force the harvest. Your job is only to not give up before it comes. Here's the truth to leave. 1 Peter 5:6 says, "Humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, so that at the proper time He may exalt you." Not your time, His time, and His time is never too early to be So if you are in a season right now where you feel invisible, overlooked, and forgotten, hear this: you are not being ignored, you are being prepared. The silence you are living in is not the sound of God walking away. It is the sound of God working in the depths where you cannot yet see. And when His moment comes, the same God who let you feel forgotten, the field prepared, David the prison prepared, Joseph the grave prepared a resurrection, and whatever season you are in right now is preparing you for something your present eyes cannot yet imagine. Do not give up in the waiting. Your due season is coming. If this message spoke to your heart today, share it with a friend or a neighbor who feels forgotten right now, because they may need this. And before you go, write this as a declaration over your life: God has not forgotten me. My season is coming.